Hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. It is not just VEDS that happens in September. September also marks the beginning of the interactive fiction competition. The IFComp, or IFComp, is an annual competition that takes place in September every year and celebrates works of brand new interactive fiction. For the uninitiated, that encompasses two main types of works. There are parser-based works, which is the kind of interactive fiction that you interact with by typing things into the story. So that's your classic, like, type N for north, X to examine type games. And then you also have choice-based games, which are usually hypertext games, wherein there are links, things to click on, choices that you can make as the player. As an interactive fiction enthusiast, I look forward to the comp every year to be able to find new and interesting works, and this year's competition has 85 entries. For the next 6 weeks, anyone is able to play and vote on the games in this year's competition. You don't need any special qualifications to be a judge. All that they ask is that you play and rate at least 5 of the entries in this year's competition to have your votes count towards who will ultimately win. This is the 31st year that the interactive fiction competition has been running. It's been going since the late 90s, and there have been many excellent games entered in the competitions over the decades. I would like to encourage all of you to check out this year's competition. You can go to IFComp.org to play through all of the entries right now. And if you're new to interactive fiction, I thought I would share some of my favorite games from last year's competition. Now, as a quick disclaimer, there were more than 60 games entered last year, and most of the top-ranking games are long. They take 2+ hours to play. I played a bunch of games from last year's competition, maybe like 15 or so, but I tended to play the shorter games in an effort to play more of them because I kind of forgot about the competition until the last weekend. What that means for you is that none of the games I'm going to talk about are in the top 3 because I didn't play any of the winning games from the competition, but instead I have a selection of 5 games that placed somewhere in the top half of the competition that I think are worth checking out. The first game I'm going to talk about is called Miss Gosling's Last Case. It's by Daniel M. Steltzer, and it placed 6th in last year's competition. This game concerns the death of Miss Gosling, a 76-year-old woman who was well known for her long and illustrious history of crime solving. You play as Miss Gosling attempting to solve your own murder. One of the more interesting things about this game is that it's kind of a combination of a parser and choice-based game. You can navigate the game either by typing commands into the box or by using the choice prompts on the screen. It makes it really friendly and accessible to new players. The narrative is great. It's funny, it's clever, it's a murder mystery, it's got great voice, and I would recommend this to anyone who is new to interactive fiction. The next game that I'll talk about is completely the opposite direction. It's called VEDSies. It's by Kit Reimer, and it's a science fiction game. This one is very strange. In terms of navigating the game, VEDSies is made in Twine, and it's built with hyperlinks, so easy enough to navigate, but it's really the narrative that is going to be the most challenging. The writing is dense and somewhat opaque, but it does eventually unfold into a story that you can follow if you're paying careful attention. One of the things I find most interesting about this game is the way that the links function. So rather than just links taking you to a new page with new text or expanding on the text on the page, you'll find that clicking a link will sometimes translate a piece of text, will sometimes take you to a new screen, will sometimes add additional detail. And when you encounter a main setting of the game, you'll notice that there are links that are blue and red. And the blue links will give you more details, and the red links will move you forward to a new location. If you're interested in science fiction and you don't mind playing a long game that is going to reveal itself slowly, then VEDSies might be for you. It was the winner of Outstanding Writing of 2024 in the 2024 IFDB Awards. That's the Interactive Fiction Database Awards, and I completely understand why. I think that the writing is remarkable. Moving right along, I have to talk about Deliquescence by Not Only But Also Riley. This is another Twine game, a little bit more experimental and much shorter. The pitch for Deliquescence is simple. Your close friend is melting, she doesn't have much time left, and you have to decide how you will be there for her final moments. After a brief introductory scene, the game presents you with a menu of choices, ways to be there for your friend, to talk to her, to touch her, to do things for her or with her, or to do nothing. It's a game about grief. It only takes a couple minutes to play through, but I would encourage you to play through it multiple times. I would also encourage you to do nothing at all, to arrive at that menu, look at the options, and choose not to take any action, just to see what happens. Thought-provoking, well-written, and stylishly rendered Deliquescence was one of my favorite games of last year's comp. There are two more games I want to talk about, both of which I feel really passionately about. The first is called ICUS. It's by Lauren O'Donoghue, and it is a community kitchen simulator. This is basically an RPG in which you arrive in a community as the community chef, and it is your job to host regular feasts for the people in the village. You plan menus, make friends, go on small little quests, and generally make yourself a part of this community. It is fun, sweet, heartfelt. If you're like me and you love food and you love meal planning, this is something that I do for my book club all the time. ICUS is the perfect game for you. It was the perfect game for me. It felt like it was made for me. The last game I'll talk about is The Maze Gallery by Cryptic Conservatory. This game has more than 34 contributors, which includes 27 authors. And in it, you are transported to a bizarre museum with twisting halls and impossible paintings, and your goal is really just to navigate your way back out. Playing this game is kind of like being Alice falling down into Wonderland. You're going to encounter all kinds of rooms and strange people and weird occurrences. I really enjoyed the kind of fantastical setting, the mystery presented by the gallery. It does include some puzzles and navigating, but generally I found that the writing was engaging and I had a lot of fun just wandering around and getting lost. As a kind of anthology, you may find that you like parts of the game better than others. Different writers worked on different rooms, and it all comes together in this enormous, twisting, labyrinthine composite. But if you like things strange, and I do, you just may find yourself really liking The Maze Gallery. And that's it. Those are some of my favorites of the 2024 IFComp. The 2025 IFComp, as I've said, is open right now. There are 85 entries just waiting for you to experience them. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any experience with interactive fiction or if you've tried any of the games I suggest. I would love to know what you think. That's it for today, and as always, my friends and fellow VEDSies, I will see all of you tomorrow. I am terrified that my battery's going to die right now. I wish you would hold on for like 2 minutes.